Have you ever replayed a single conversation in your head 100 times? Wondering if you said the wrong thing, or imagining every possible disaster before it even happens? That's overthinking. And if you've been caught in that storm, you know how exhausting it feels. But here's the truth: cognitive behavioral therapy, or CBT, gives us practical tools to step out of that loop. And today, you'll learn exactly how. By the end of this video, you'll have a set of clear CBT-based techniques you can use anytime your mind starts spiraling. You'll learn how to catch your thoughts before they drag you down, how to reframe them so they stop controlling you, and how to create mental habits that bring peace instead of chaos. This isn't theory, it's psychology you can apply right now, in the middle of your everyday life. Let's start with a simple truth. Overthinking isn't just thinking too much. It's thinking the same unhelpful thoughts again and again, hoping they'll somehow solve themselves. Psychologists call this rumination. It's like being on a treadmill, lots of motion, no forward progress. Here's the cycle: a trigger, maybe a text message left on read, leads to a thought. Did I do something wrong? That thought stirs up anxiety. The anxiety feeds more thoughts. What if they're upset? What if I lose this friendship? The mind loops. And before you know it, your energy is drained by imaginary scenarios. The first step CBT teaches us is awareness, recognizing this as a mental pattern, not a reflection of reality. What you're about to learn is how to break that loop. CBT uses a powerful tool called thought labeling. Instead of diving into the content of your thought, you step back and name it. For example, you notice yourself thinking, "I'll probably fail this project." Instead of chasing that thought, you say, "That's a prediction, not a fact." Or when you think, "Everyone must be judging me," you label it, "That's a mind-reading thought." This tiny shift matters. Why? Because labeling transforms thoughts from unquestioned truths into mental events you can observe. The storm turns into passing clouds. Try this. Next time you catch yourself spiraling, pause and simply say, "This is worry. This is prediction. This is judgment." You'll feel a surprising amount of distance immediately. Let me give you a story. A client once told me about lying awake at night, rehearsing a job interview that hadn't even happened yet. Every possible awkward answer, every imagined failure. So we practiced CBT labeling. Each time a thought came up, "I'll mess this up," they whispered, "That's a prediction." When the thought shifted to, "The interviewer won't like me," they said, "That's mind reading." At first, it felt silly. But within a week, they noticed something profound. Their thoughts lost power. They still came, but they no longer felt like solid truth. And for the first time in years, they slept before a big interview. That's the gift of CBT. It doesn't erase thoughts, it changes your relationship with them. Another powerful CBT tool is what I call the scientist's mindset. Whenever your mind insists something is true, you test it like a hypothesis. Say you're thinking, "I always embarrass myself in social situations." Pause. Ask, "What's the evidence for this?" Write it down. Then ask, "What's the evidence against this?" Often, the evidence against will surprise you. Actually, last week I had a smooth conversation with a coworker. By putting your thought on trial, you shift from emotional reasoning, where feelings equal facts, into rational evaluation. The brain calms down when it sees balance instead of bias. Overthinking thrives when we try to suppress it. So CBT uses a paradoxical trick: schedule it. Set a timer for 5 minutes. Give yourself full permission to worry, write it all out, every what if. But when the timer ends, you stop. At first this feels impossible. But your brain learns, worry has boundaries. It's not an endless ocean. This technique, called stimulus control, is like teaching your mind that worry has an office with opening and closing hours. Outside those hours, you redirect your attention. CBT reminds us, Thoughts aren't just mental, they influence behavior. And behavior can reshape thoughts. If you constantly think, if I speak up in a meeting, I'll look stupid, test it. Share one small idea in the next meeting. Observe what happens. Chances are, nothing catastrophic occurs. That lived experience becomes stronger than the old belief. Each experiment chips away at the credibility of overthinking. You're building real-world data that your anxious predictions rarely come true. Let's pause for a moment. So far you've learned thought labeling, naming the type of thought. The evidence test, putting thoughts on trial. The 5-minute worry window, giving overthinking a schedule. Behavioral experiments, testing predictions in real life. Notice how each technique takes you one step further, from awareness to analysis, to control, to transformation. That's the CBT journey. Finally, the crown jewel of CBT, reframing. Reframing doesn't mean sugarcoating. It means seeing another angle. Instead of, I can't handle this challenge, reframe, this challenge will teach me resilience. Instead of, everyone is judging me, reframe, people are usually too focused on themselves to notice. It's about choosing perspectives that empower rather than paralyze. And the more you practice reframing, the more your brain naturally generates balanced, helpful thoughts. So let's bring this home. Overthinking is a storm, but CBT gives you a compass. Label your thoughts to create distance. Test your thoughts with evidence. Contain worry with a 5-minute window. Challenge your fears with small experiments. Reframe your perspective to unlock freedom. You don't have to eliminate thoughts. You just have to stop letting them steer the ship. If you start practicing even one of these techniques today, your mind will begin to feel lighter, calmer, more spacious. Remember, what you're about to learn isn't just psychology, it's a way of navigating life with more clarity and less noise.